Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. What's going on, guys? I want to start off where I left off on the 501-page document dump. We were going through Detective Morris's interview. And I wanted to finish this all in a part 2, but it looks like we're going to have to do a part 3 and maybe even a part 4, but we're just going to try and keep it to a part 3 at max. We'll see what happens. But we're definitely working on part 2 today, where we're going to go through his investigative narrative. Now, you guys may have heard some of this stuff before. Absolutely. All right. Anybody who's following this case has heard a lot of this narrative, but you haven't heard the report specifically written by Detective Morris. This was a part of the 501-page document dump. So we're going to hear his perspective, his narrative of this Madeline Soto case. So we started off the beginning of the case, the missing persons investigation that then morphed into a sex crimes investigation, that then morphed into a homicide investigation. We're going to start off where Detective Hunt, or rather Detective Morris, is summarizing Detective Hunt's interview with Stephen Stearns, all right? I have read some of this. This stuff is very, very probative, very interesting, and I think it's important to get Detective Morris's perspective. It just helps round the picture out, guys. So let me bring this in right here. We're going to get through this, man. And once again, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you hit that like button as I go through this, because we're going to get through this document, as much of the document as we can. So we're not necessarily going to have time to be asking you guys to hit the like button. So please support the Strategic Eyes Show by hitting the like button. And if you're joining me for the first time, please consider subscribing to the channel, supporting a small, growing YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, Detective Hunt's investigative narrative, part 2. At approximately 12:05 hours, Detective Hunt then contacted Stephen at Madeline Soto's residence. Stephen gave the following sworn statement. Stephen stated the last time he saw Madeline was when he dropped her off at school on 2/26/2024 between 8:25 hours and 8:40 hours. Stephen said Madeline liked to be dropped off away from school, sometimes because she didn't want to be seen in a hoopty car, meaning an old car. Stephen said he dropped Madeline off along a stretch of road that had several communities, which was by the overpass of SR 417. Stephen said the school was on the other side of the overpass from where he dropped her off at. Stephen said Madeline looked like cool morning walks. Stephen said Madeline was wearing her hoodie, sweatshirt. Stephen said it wasn't common for him to take Madeline to school. He was only helping Jen out because she started a new job. Stephen said he splits time between Kissimmee and his parents' house in Northport, Florida, because they need his help due to their age, which we know is a big old lie, guys. His parents do not need him for anything. They're fully functioning adults. In fact, they're on Ozempic and lost a ton of weight. They're living their best life. Dad goes to work every single day doing a successful real estate job, and mommy is raising her dogs, living her best life, breeding them dogs and selling them for a fortune, I bet. They did not need this guy. In fact, they were trying to get rid of him, but, you know, it is what it is. Let's keep going. All right. Stephen said when he comes to Kissimmee, he would come for weeks at a time. However, in other statements received later in this investigation, Stephen will only come to Kissimmee for a couple days at a time. Stephen stated he arrived in Kissimmee on Saturday, 2/24/2026. Stephen said he moved back to his parents' house because they told him they are getting older and they really needed his help around the house. Another lie. We know that's a lie. Stephen said his parents were already making an end-of-life plan. Wow, he was going in hard. He was lying his pants off. When Detective Hunt was clarifying a time of 8:25 hours and 8:40 hours, Stephen said he left his phone at home, so he wasn't sure what time it was. Stephen said after he left Maddie, he was looking at her in the rearview mirror. She looked like she was walking her way towards the school. Stephen said he went to a vape shop nearby, but they were closed, so he made his way home and spent time with Jen. Detective Hunt confirmed with Stephen that he arrived back home at around 10 o'clock and was there, and he said yes. Stephen said Jen was just waking up. This statement contradicts what Jen said, where her alarm went off at 9 o'clock and she left at 9:30 a.m. for her appointment. Stephen said he left to go to the vape shop and went back home where they hung out some more. So immediately they saw the inconsistencies in their statements and they knew that somebody was lying, and most likely the person who was lying with Stephen Stern. So very early on, police were already on to the fact that they were dealing with a suspect that had possibly did something wrong to this child and was trying to cover his trap. Stephen said that Jen wanted to take a nap, so he went to run some errands. Stephen said he went to some card game shops in the area, and that is when he got a flat tire. Stephen said he got a flat tire on Highway 192, which he described as hair-raising. Interesting. Why would he say it was hair-raising? Interesting. Stephen said he got the flat tire sometime between noon and 1400 hours. Stephen was supposed to go with Jen to pick up Maddie from school. He said since he got the flat tire, he was late getting home. Detective Hunt asked Stephen to tell him about Sunday night going into Monday. Stephen is heard. Go down to the next page. Taking a deep sigh. Oh, you know how he does. Well, let me just get some of this vape juice. I hate that guy. And said Maddie was happy. Talking about crushes. Remember how big the crushes were? That's part of the motive we talked about. We talked about pregnancy being a motive. We also talked about jealousy being a motive because Maddie had crushes. Let's keep going. Talking about crushes, meaning boys she had crushes on, and a singing performance. Stephen said Maddie requested him to take that Jen requested him to take Maddie to school in the morning. Stephen agreed since he had done this a few times in the past. When discussing his sleeping arrangements, Stephen said he said that Maddie went to sleep around 2300, 23:15. So for you guys who don't know Army time, that's 11 o'clock, 11:15. Because Maddie Maddie was wound up from her party. Stephen said they were getting up really early so they could make some good time getting out of the door. Stephen said they got up around 7 a.m. on 2/26/2024. Stephen said he spoke with Jen a couple times while he was in and out of her room, even though Jen said they only spoke once about the dog. Stephen said he was impressed. They made such good time getting out the door. They were out between 7:30 and 7:45. Detective Hunt asked Stephen where Maddie left her phone. He said she left it in her room when she was grabbing her shoes or sweatshirt. Detective Hunt spoke to Stephen about the church near where he dropped Maddie off and concluded the interview shortly thereafter. Detective Hunt obtained information from license plate readers and video footage from the area which revealed certain inconsistencies Stephen's statement. Let's go through these inconsistencies because I think it's important, guys, really to get to the nitty gritty of this case, man. Appreciate you guys for going on this journey with me. I really do. Detective Hunt then contacted blank and blank, who is blank's grandmother. So when I don't know who I think it might be talking on, I'm just going to say blank. The last time she saw Maddie was the night of 2/25/2024 at her home located at Redacted. This is where Maddie's birthday party was held. It is not uncommon for Maddie to sometimes walk from Hunters Creek Middle School to grandma's office located at blank. On 2/26/2024, blank called blank and asked blank if she walked to her office because she was not currently at school. So I guess Jen called grandma. Jen stated that Maddie was taken to school by Stephen, whom she knows as Jennifer's ex-boyfriend. Blank believes Blank and Stephen broke up in December where he moved out of the home, but she wasn't sure why they broke up. Blank stated Stephen possibly came to Kissimmee for Maddie's birthday. Stephen has taken Maddie to school in the past and stated he dropped her off at the nearby apartment complex named Urbana. Blank has never run away from home in the past. Approximately 1 year ago, there was an incident where Maddie was upset due to having an argument with her mother, and she called grandma. At that time, grandma explained she was walking around the neighborhood due to being angry. However, she soon went back home after being told to do so by grandma. Maddie stated she doesn't like Stephen because he doesn't do anything, as in working. She said that Blank just doesn't want to be alone. So Jen just doesn't want to be alone. We're hearing from mommy that part of Jen's issues is that she doesn't want to be alone. She is a codependent person. Let's keep going. Detective Tagler with the Orange County Sheriff's Office was also asked to assist with interviewing Stephan during this case. Detective Tagler would eventually become the lead investigator for the Orange County Sheriff's Office case. Detective Tagler contacted Stephan at blank. Detective Tagler was provided locations where Stephan's vehicle, 2010 Lincoln MKZ, bearing Florida tag, blah, 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 had been seen during the time Stephan stated he dropped Maddie off at school. Detective Tagler confronted Stephan about his locations during the interview, but Stephan would provide answers that did not match up to his vehicle's location. This raised concerns with Detective Tagler, as if Stephan was withholding information. Stephan provided consent to search his phone. However, he stated he had accidentally performed de facto recess on his phone on 2/26/2024. Detective Tagler asked Stephan a second time if he consented to the download of his phone, and he agreed and provided his passcode. Detective Tagler gave Stephan's cellular phone to the Orange County Sheriff's Office Digital Forensic Unit to download. Detective Tagler then proceeded to the security gate at the Venetian Bay to review video. Upon reviewing the security video, Detective Tagler observed Stephan's vehicle exiting the complex with a female wearing a green sweater in the front passenger seat. The female was slumped over to her left, which was an abnormal way for a person to be seated in a vehicle. At this point, Detective Tagler decided to secure the residence at blank for a search warrant. This is when they saw Maddie unalived in the vehicle, at least appearing to be unalived in the vehicle. In law enforcement, I think just humans, period, we know when we see somebody dead because we see so many people deceased. But I think that if we don't need to see this photo, by the way, keep it redacted, keep it unreleased because she's a minor. But let's use our imaginations and say that Maddie was an adult and these would be pictures that they would release to the general public. I think if we saw these pictures, we would all be able to look at that picture and say, she's not living. There's just a certain way that the body looks that you can tell that there's no life in it. It's very sad. And it's just very sad that this little girl had to go through that. And the added manipulation and I would say desecration of her deceased body by Stephan Stearns in an attempt to cover up his tracks is just, it just really is shameful. And it just really, I don't know, what the word I'm looking for? Just kind of puts the icing on the cake on just how evil and terrible Stephan Stearns really is. Let's keep going. The Kissimmee Police Department was notified and asked to assist with the case. Detective Smallwood responded to assist Orange County in the search. The decision was made to have patrol officers from the Kissimmee Police Department secure the location for the search warrant to be executed on 2/28/2024. On February 20th, 2024, Detective Mark Morris was called and asked to respond to blank to assist Orange County and executed a search warrant for their missing person case. Upon my arrival, I contacted Orange County deputies who were waiting for their forensics unit to arrive to execute the search warrant. While Orange County was serving a search warrant on the premises, a subsequent search warrant was executed on Stephan's cellular phone. This is when we start finding about the CSAM, ladies and gentlemen. Upon reviewing the contents of Stephan's phone, it was discovered several images were saved in a Google Drive. A separate search warrant was served to Google, and upon the receipt of the contents of Stephan's Google Drive, several images and videos were located which depicted an apparent child with her breast, vagina, and anal opening as the focal point of the pictures/videos. There were also pictures and videos depicting an apparent vagina and mouth being penetrated by a penis. I wanted to redact that, but I just read it through by accident, but it is what it is. Just a reality of what happened. But it's very unfortunate that, we're talking about a child that had to be subjected to this. The child was later identified as blank, whose date of birth is blank. We know who the child is. I just don't want to say their name after such horrendous words. During this time, it was also discovered Stephan did not drop blank off at the school. As he previously stated, Orange County detectives were able to gather information from the license plate readers and traffic cameras. This information confirmed that Stephan did not drop off at school. In fact, his vehicle was seen driving south on Old Hickory Tree Road on 2/26/2024. Very, very sad stuff, guys. Very, very sad stuff. Let's keep going. Corporal Ilgen and I drove out to the area of Old Hickory Tree Road to canvass the area for possible spots where Stephen may have dumped Maddie's body. We searched several different places. However, the results were negative. We also contacted staff at Hickory Tree Elementary to review surveillance video. Deputy Chisholm with the Osceola County Sheriff's Office was able to assist in watching the video on 2/26/2024, approximately 13-17 hours. Vehicle matching Stephen is seen traveling south on Old Hickory Tree Road, passing the school. Now, this is the thing. We talked about this on a previous show. They looked to see if they saw Stephen Stern's vehicle, of which they saw it. They saw him go past the school. But I wanted to see if they looked to see if there were video of Jen Soto actually going to the school, as she stated that she did, to go pick up Maddie. I want to see what Jen, I'm not saying that Jen didn't go. I'm not here doubting that. I just want to see what she did when she got there. Did she get out of her car? Did she ask any staff about anything? Did she look around? Did she just park and leave? How long was she there for? Was she there for 2 minutes? Was she there for 15 minutes? I'm curious about this testimony that Jen Soto gave about going to the school to look for Maddie. I want to know if the police actually followed it up to see if she went, and if they documented that, and if they got video to see if she actually did what she said she did. But let's keep going, guys. Based upon the suspicious nature of blank going missing, it was decided I'd become the lead investigator for the Kissimmee Police Department. So this is now Morris taking control. February 20th, 2024, at approximately 1300 hours, Corporal Ilgen and I responded to the Orange County Sheriff's Office so I could be briefed on the investigation. Due to this investigation being worked by two different agencies, it decided that I have command center. It was decided to have the command center be housed at Orange County Sheriff's Office. Deputies has already arranged for Jen and Stephen to be transported there for a press conference. I was shown the contents of Stephen's Google Drive, where one photo that appeared dedicated to Maddie contained over 1,700 files. A majority of these photographs and videos showed Maddie in different horrible positions. Based upon these images, Orange County detectives began to author an arrest warrant for Stephen due to the fact that most of these images appeared to have occurred at the residence of Jen. It gave the address, but I'm going to say Jen Soto. Probable cause was provided to Detective Moore of the Kissimmee Police Department. Detective Moore wrote the arrest warrant charging Stephen with sexual battery and possession of CSAM. Wow. Let's keep going. I was also provided information from license plate readers, surveillance videos, and traffic cameras. Now they're going to kind of break down that stuff. February 26, 2024 at 7:30 a.m., Stephen was seen driving his vehicle to the dumpster in Venetian Bay. Stephen is wearing a red shirt and tan pants. Stephen exits the vehicle and throws away two large white trash bags. In the passenger seat of Stephen's vehicle is a white female wearing a green sweatshirt with her head slumped over to the left. The positioning of the female does not appear to be normal. She doesn't move while Stephen is exiting or entering the vehicle. The female appears to be deceased. I don't think he said that. I think he said appears to be Madeline. But my subconscious said deceased because I think we all know she was deceased. But I think it's redacted. It is Madeline, not deceased. Let's keep going. February 26, 2024, 8:10 hours. Stephen is driving south on John Young Parkway, approaching the Thacker Avenue. Blank is still in the front passenger seat in the same position. Maddie's there. February 26, 2024, 18:19. He exits the rear of the complex, Venetian Bay. Maddie's still in front seat. At 9 o'clock, 9:01 a.m., driving north on International Drive, Central Florida Parkway. I've been on that drive before. Anybody who went to Disney went to International Drive before. Used to go to Disney yearly, so I've been to Disney like maybe 4 times. Very expensive vacation, but you do it for your children. So I've been on International Drive. I know what they're talking about. Maddie's still in the front passenger seat, same position. This confirms that Stephen did not drop Maddie off at or near the school as previously stated. So they burnt a hole in that statement. February 26th at 9:30 hours, Stephen is driving into the Parkway garage at 9271 South John Young Parkway. Stefan drives up to the second level, parks near the northeast corner of the lot. Stefan backs his vehicle into a parking space by the stairs. Stefan exits his vehicle, walks toward the rear of his vehicle, and opens the trunk. At 9:41 hours, Stefan is seen placing Maddie, who's wearing a green sweatshirt and blue pants, in the trunk of his vehicle. Stefan then exits the parking garage. Put that child in a trunk. What a monster. Put that child in a trunk. Shameful. February 26, 2024 at 10:14 hours, Stefan enters Venetian Bay through the east gate of the complex. Maddie is no longer seen in the front passenger seat of the vehicle. February 26, 2024 at 10:54 hours, Stefan is seen driving to the dumpster in Venetian Bay, throwing away more trash. February 26, 2024 at 11:22 hours. So that means while he's interacting with Jen Soto, her baby is in the trunk. When he's going in and out of that house, her baby is in the trunk. But she defended this guy after the cops told her that he was abusing her child and may have killed her child. She still defended him. Let's keep going. At 11:22, he goes to that vape shop that he talked about. That's south of John Young Parkway. Stefan's vehicle then travels east on Highway 192 towards St. Cloud. His vehicle is captured on several traffic cameras as well as license plate readers. At 13:16 hours, Stefan is driving south of Old Hickory Tree Road. Stefan passes Hickory Tree Road in elementary school at 13:17 hours. I think by this time he had already dumped the body. He had already stashed Maddie in those fields on that private property. At 2:11, Stefan's vehicle now has a spare tire on the rear driver's side of the vehicle. At 3:21, he's seen throwing more stuff in the dumpster. And then at 3:18 in the morning, Jen's vehicle is seen driving east on Highway 192 through Kissimmee to St. Cloud. This vehicle takes the same exact path as Stefan. At 3:35 hours, Jen's vehicle is seen driving south on Old Hickory Tree Road, 192. The vehicle is seen again turning west on Highway 192. I think he went back to the crime scene to either manipulate the body or to try and clean it up, guys. I think he went to go cover up his loose ends on that body. He went back to the same place where he dumped the body, guys. I think he went to clean up his tracks. The best of his abilities, that is. Then the vehicle returns to Venetian Bay at approximately 4:30 hours. A more detailed timeline is included with Detective Cabral's supplement. So we're going to stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to continue on page 8. It's going to be a part 3. We might actually end up doing like maybe 5 parts on this because there's a lot to it. But I want to go through it and get the final investigative officer's narrative on this case. I think it's important. Even though you may have heard some of these things before, it's important for us to understand the investigative process that Detective Morris took, and to hear his final statement on the totality of this case all the way up to Stefan Stearns being arrested and charged with Madeline Soto's essaying, unaliving, and possession of C-SAM. Guys, like and subscribe, join the channel. Please make sure that you have all your notifications set to all so that you guys can be notified when I drop a new channel, a new show on the channel rather. And make sure you hit that like button so we can get into the algorithm. See you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.